Two hot topics now, and the Commonwealth Bank says it will pause plans to charge some of its customers with assisted transaction fees after mounting public backlash. The program would force customers on a certain account type to pay $3 if they withdrew money from a bank teller, a post office or over the phone. Instead, CommBank will reach out to some of those affected in order to work out options that are best for them. For their take, let's bring in the founding director of Western Sydney Women, Amanda Rose, and broadcaster Neil Mitchell. Good morning to both of you. Amanda, not quite a full reversal. It shows the power of the people, though. They got pretty... there was a lot of backtracking by CommBank yesterday.
There was, but it's only a pause for 6 months. And when you think of the people who are impacted the most, who goes to the bank to take out cash are people that are older. So we're talking elderly people or those who need assistance, people with disabilities, need help to get cash out. So what they're saying is, we're going to charge you $3. And it's only, let me tell you, 6 months only pause. And what's in 6 months? The election. So I reckon what will happen is that they'll sneak it back in when we're all too busy reading all the propaganda headlines with both sides of politics at the time.
Yeah, what did you make of this, Neil?
I agree with Amanda. I think it's spin. They say they didn't communicate it properly, so they're going to try and spin it. I reckon that some of these bank executives should be wearing balaclavas. It's a form of bank robbery that they're undergoing. Years ago, maybe we've got to bring it back, we had a bumper sticker, all banks are bastards. Maybe the alliteration is lovely. But look, they're not alone. I was looking at a Bendigo Bank statement, 21 pages. You need a PhD in law to understand it. And they're putting up some fees, $2.50 to take out money. This bank is making $27 million a day profit. $27 million a day profit. And you can't win. I went in the other day, transferred money from one account to another, and I had to do it because I didn't have online access, $35.
Wow.
To push a button, $35. They're sneaking back to their bad habits. Let's take after them.
Yeah, you're right. Now, all the headlines scream today that the CommBank has backtracked and they won't have to pay the fee. But if you look at the fine print, the 900,000 people will still have, who are moving to this account will still have to pay $3 if they walk into a branch and do any kind of transaction. They're just saying, we're putting you on a different account and you'll save money that way. I agree. I think it's all spin, and we'll wonder how the customers are going to, react today, because I don't reckon people read past the headlines. Do you, Amanda?
No, but I also think if you don't like it, just like with politics, go elsewhere. So we're partly to blame by not supporting the community banks as much as we could have, because it's easier just to go to the main banks. So everything that's worthwhile requires effort.
Well, Neil, CommBank says there is a cost to them if you walk into their branch and they have to pay for those people. They have to pay for the lights to turn on. What do you reckon?
Imagine having to pay some sort of cost to provide service to your customers. They're trying to force us out of the branches, so they close the branches. That's what it's about. They are closing them. They are supposed to provide service, and of course there's a cost to that. But get back to it. Nearly $10 billion a year, 27 million every hour of every day of the year. That's more than $1 million an hour in profit.
You know what it's going to do? It's going to make everyone look at their own bank statements and see what we're charged for, I reckon.
We get your highlighter out and
take a bit of notice
and start complaining.
Moving on, building unions have issued a warning to Woolworths, vowing to send large numbers of construction workers down to a union picket line in Melbourne if the supermarket tries to break it up. It comes amid ongoing strike action by Woolies workers, which is leaving more shelves bare and shortages of beer and wine too. Also, Amanda, this is getting out of control, isn't it?
Well, kind of. So I'm all for unions and people having the right for good work conditions and pay conditions. I am also for those who want to go to work should still be able to go to work if they don't want to join the union. So I think that's also fair. But this is a positive in a way, because then people can go to their local small business to buy their wine, their alcohol, which they've probably overlooked and forgotten during this time, because again, we're just very complacent and go to the big guys, Dan Murphy's and so forth, to get our alcohol. So now let's look at an alternative. If Woolies isn't providing what you need, go to your local, say it could be IGA, or go to the local fruit shop and support them in Christmas. And also the local local liquor store. Mind you, they know their wines usually and they'll help you. So let's do that.
Is that a good point, Neil?
Oh yeah, but it doesn't answer it. I mean, the Woolies is losing has lost 50 million. Shareholders are losing money. The workers are losing money. Everybody loses in a dispute like this. I'm not surprised by the building unions. There's still in the union movement, they hate that word scab. And if there's a suggestion of bringing in non-union labour, but what we need is a fireman. Bob Hawke was known as the fireman when he was ACDU president because he'd come in and settle disputes. We need somebody independent to come in. All disputes settle in the end. Every strike settles. Every dispute settles. You need somebody to speed it up, an independent negotiator to bang their heads together and sort it.
That's what Nanas used to say. We'll just get them in a room and bang their heads together. We need someone like that. Finally, the spirit of Christmas has been on full display this festive season with Secret Santas paying off lay-bys at toy stores from the Gold Coast to Melbourne. There was even one anonymous family who was chipping away with monthly repayments since June to fulfil their good deed. Neil, this is a beautiful story, isn't it?
I love this, and I first came across it probably 2 or 3 years ago on a radio program, and it was happening up in Bendigo in central Victoria, and it's spread. I can tell you where it's now happened. It's happened in Bendigo, in Richmond, a Melbourne suburb, Pakenham, an outer Melbourne suburb, Bunbury, Western Australia, Perth, Western Australia, the Gold Coast, Townsville, Gympie. People have adopted a tradition. They go in anonymously, pay off the lay-by for people who haven't got a lot of money. And the tears, I talked to a number of store owners about this, and they say customers are coming in, I've got to try and pay for the lay-by for the kids. And they, no, it's all being paid by a generous, anonymous person right around the country. And there are tears and delight. It's a magnificent gesture of decency.
It is the joy of Christmas, isn't it, Amanda?
It is, and I like that it's anonymous. That don't tell people that you're helping others. You know, don't tell your left hand what your right hand is doing. Just keep it to yourself. But this needs to happen more. So while big companies are complaining about losing money to their shareholders, actually, this is what the season's about. It's actually what life is about, helping those in need.
Yeah, it is a great story. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.